You are On the Line with Dean Beck.
With the latest and greatest news from around the nation and around the world, Matthew Wade from starobserver.com.au joins us. Welcome.
Hi, Dean. How's it going?
Very well, thank you. Let's kick it off with Northside Bazaar. 1,500 people, just Saturday, just gone. $22,500 raised.
Yeah, so it's the annual Northside Bazaar Festival. It was held last Saturday at the Laird Hotel and on the streets just outside. I was there. And I saw you as well, Dean,
I was there.
running around, being an auctioneer. But yeah, they raised a lot of money. And so all the funds, so the $22,500 goes towards Joy FM and also the Victorian AIDS Council's David Williams Fund, which basically supports people living with HIV through their financial hardship.
Do we know if it's a record?
That I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure if you're aware or not, Dean, but yeah, it's still...
I should have done a bit more homework myself. Now, Greens Senator Robert Sims recently became the first openly gay man sworn into South Australia as part of the federal parliament.
That's right,
What
yes.
was he... was this a by-election, was it?
Well, yeah, he used to be a councillor in South Australia, but now he's become the first... South Australian representative in the Senate. So his Victorian counterpart is Janet Rice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he had his first, I guess, speech in the Senate yesterday, and he spoke a lot about his interest in tackling LGBT issues, and he actually spoke quite personally about his experience coming out and the struggles he had as a teenager. So I think, I guess, from here, his main interest and focus will be focusing on younger people who identify as LGBTI, and trying to help them and saying, letting them know that it gets better. Yeah, and he'll work closely with Janet Rice to do those things.
And Jason Ball will be the first gay Greens person to be Prime Minister of Australia, I'm told, reliably. Now, Adelaide University students have called on the university's administration to create an anti-discrimination policy for LGBTI staff and students. This is an interesting one because there are some unis that are way ahead on this stuff and others that have got so far to go.
That's so true, and it actually really came to light earlier this year when the LGBT University Guide came out. So it was kind of a study that was taken, it shaped up, it compared all the different universities and how
Wasn't that a revealing document? Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was incredibly important and useful, but I guess through that, Adelaide University in particular, it revealed that they didn't have anything like that, any kind of anti-discrimination policy. And, the university itself has quite a history with, I guess, homophobic attacks. Like, one of the most famous ones was, back in the 70s, Dr. George Duncan, who was killed, at a gay beat. And so I guess...
Was he from the university?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess the students have seen this study or research from earlier in the year and they think, we'd like to do something about it. So they started a petition.
Joining the dots. Now, tomorrow night, the Globe Awards, the Gala Awards for our community, the 2015 Globe Awards being held here. And as always, a tremendous group of people nominated for this year.
That's right. Like each year, I think it's incredible to have these awards, particularly to recognise local, community efforts in the LGBTI community. And this year, there's a host of nominees. Joy FM got nominated for a couple of awards, so one for connecting our community and one for protecting our community. And for the big award, which is the LGBTI Person of the Year, there are three candidates. So one is Sally Goldner, who's the Director of Transgender Victoria. One is Jason Ball, who you mentioned earlier. And one is Lucy Thomas, who's the co-founder and CEO of Project Rocket, which is like an organisation devoted to tackling bullying in high school.
Well, good luck to all nominees. I'm looking forward to providing some of the content for tomorrow night, so that'll be fun. Now, there is a new edition of Star Observer out today.
That's right, yeah. So it just came out today, so pick it up and check it out. We've got a number of different articles in there. So the cover person is Conchita Wurst from Eurovision, because she's visiting Australia in November for Feast Festival in Adelaide.
And it's featuring just about every article by you. Matthew Wade.
I did write quite a lot for this one. I'm quite proud of it, personally. But yeah, it's a great...
So you should be. You've done a story on slut-shaming. This is an interesting issue that takes place in all sorts of ways, including, around PrEP. Tell us about the angle that you took.
Well, that's right. I mean, recently there was a slut walk-on, which was basically like a way for women and people who experience slut-shaming to say, you know what, we shouldn't be blamed for, things like sexual assault or be enjoying sex. And I thought, it's an issue that also affects the queer community in many ways, like not only gay men, but trans women, women of colour, all the different communities. And so I spoke to a number of people in the community about their experiences, and I spoke to Nick Hollis, who's HIV positive, and talked to him about what it's like to experience slut-shaming in that capacity. And as you mentioned, around PrEP, he actually said that a lot of the slut-shaming he faced comes from actually within the gay community as opposed to people from outside of it.
Hell yeah! That's why there's a little show called Hide and Seek that is specifically set up for, partly that, to reclaim our sexuality and celebrate it, not apologise for it. Matthew Wade, thank you very much for joining us today. Also in the latest edition of Star Observer is a Q&A with Cam Shafati. So he's got heaps of fans here in Melbourne. I'm sure you'll pick up your latest copy either from here at level 9225 Burke Street or from your favourite outlet. Matthew, we'll catch up again next week, shall we?
Yep, thanks, Dean.
Joy 94.9 is a GLBTIQ community radio station in Melbourne, Australia. Support Joy 94.9 by becoming a member at joy.org.au.